Hey, I'm sure most of y'all, it's a lot colder than it is where I am. So, where are you at and what's the weather like? That's what I want to know. Is it cold? Do you have snow? I'm very jealous of snow. Oregon, Illinois, California, Cincinnati, Illinois, it's cold. It's been snowing for several hours for Trey. Love. Wow. Iowa, Florida. We are everywhere. Woo! Michigan, Colorado, Minnesota, -20. Wow, I could never. Well, I hope that
Negative
everyone has
20
had
kill me.
yeah, truly, genuinely. Um, well, I hope everyone had a lovely holiday season and had some lovely time to rest and relax after this last cycle. But we did some really great work. We've got a lot to go over, a lot to talk about all the amazing work that we did. And I personally, New Year's resolution, we're gonna do even more great work this year. I know it. How about everyone else? Everyone else have some New Year's resolutions to keep getting this good work done? Woo! Woo! Psh.
My New Year's resolution uh, is to make sure that PV has many victories as possible,
As many
and
progressive
that as
victories as we can.
that's right, and as many volunteers who want to get involved get opportunities that empower them.
Mine's really basic, but I'm going to the gym. It's gonna happen. It's gonna be consistent.
Love that. New Year's revolution, says Mac. Hi, Mac. I missed you, Mac. Awesome. Awesome. Leo is getting into making YouTube videos, meet new people. Love. All of these are great, amazing, wonderful resolutions. Okay, but before we get wrapped up in the new year, let's circle back to what we did last year.
And then I'm going to be relying on my fellow co-hosts to be able to help read the chat because I'm not able to bring it up for both setups. But yes, thank you for everyone who's able to come and attend, whether you're able to listen to us live and or are listening to us in a recording. It does mean a lot for you to be able to spend time to actually look at what we were able to do, what we were able to accomplish. And I'm super excited to share all this information with you. So we did quite a bit in 2024. 2024 was our very first full presidential election cycle as an organization. And while we had done the midterms back in 2022, the scale that we had was much, much, much bigger than in the past. And as part of that, we were able to accomplish a lot more. Of course, there was a lot of money that was in play. There was a lot of people that were looking to get involved, and a lot of people did get involved. I just want to point out a few things. Like, for example, in our Discord, we had over 9,000 members. We had over 1,750 unique volunteers that went and did things from our community and were a part of it. And we're going to be talking a little bit more about that in detail going forward. But I'm going to let us talk about our kind of TLDR with us.
Yeah, so we did a lot this year. Or last year, excuse me. It was the first major election that we were part of, the first presidential election that we were active in. Huge investment of time, energy, resources over anything that had ever been done inside the live streaming content space before. And I think marked a really important milestone for the maturity of the space, and also created a huge pathway for people like you to get involved in elections, which I think I hope I'm correct about this. I think I'm correct. Very, very few people probably would be who are in this space would be working on elections or in politics if it weren't for the content creators that you watch. It's not like the Democratic Party would have reached you anyway. So that's a really, really big deal, and I want to congratulate you all on what we were able to accomplish. given that how new this space is in making an impact in politics directly, and how young you all are. It's a really, really big deal. So let's talk about exactly what we did accomplish. So huge number of door knocks, which I know has been a big focus of the space before PV, especially DGG. 381,000 door knocks, which is massive for a program of our size. Almost 2,000 unique volunteers, and 1.6 million total voter contacts. We held 5 major Canvas events and 118 community events, and we did a huge number of streamer collaborations with our streamers that we were directly connected to, and also one-offs that we did with less political streamers. Highlights include the stream that we did with Amaranth and Austin Show for the debate, and then the Pokimane Valkyrie stream with Bernie Sanders in, I believe it was early October. And then lastly, we launched the first ever election-related game, Quick Save Democracy. We're going to be talking about all these accomplishments in more detail during the rest of this presentation, but I just wanted to run it all for you, run through it all, overview, and thank you for getting involved. You know, I've been working in politics for a really long time, and I've been missing working with young people because it's such an important way for people to find their citizenship, and media. The media that's being created right now that young people consume is like a, you know, it's a wasteland. So finding this content space and all the really dedicated and sincere people who actually care about this country and our democracy has revitalized my faith, and it's been, you know, it's wiped away a lot of my cynicism, and I'm really just glad to be able to participate. So thank you so much, and I want to turn it over to CJ again.
Yeah, so again, a lot of different things. Special shout outs if you've shown up to literally any of the events within the community, as well as I'd love to see kind of in the side chat later on, like what people joined from in terms of their communities, what was like the, oh yeah, I think I'll get involved, because that was, you know, the case for a lot of people. And also special shout outs if you're kind of here a little bit beforehand, where you're able to help us with our 2023 or 2022 initiatives. So the big part, like I said, like we touched on before, is that we made 118 events, and those 118 events were starting in April, and this could not have been done without our events team lead, Tomato Top. So I'm going to let her speak a little bit more about her favorite highlights from this year, and what she was able to get accomplished.
Thanks, CJ. Yeah, hi. Yes, so I didn't even realize how many events we had done until I like looked at the Google Calendar and was like, oh boy, yeah, this is amazing. Um, so the hundreds of signups after going to events goes to some of our special sort of like big events that we did to push for phone banks and other actions. So if you're part of the events team, you helped in a big way to get people signed up to do things, which is amazing. And we've done our best to have very good regular programming. And I want to say that our events team has been super great at showing up consistently and doing really amazing things. So we always have events on the books, which is something I'm so proud of. And we've had 5 special event series. I wasn't really sure how to phrase it, but so special shout out to Drew, who spearheaded the On the Historical Record program, where Drew gives speeches about, or reads historical speeches, and then we talk about them, and I love it. Drew has such an amazing voice. We also have Lit Club every single week. So if you like to read books, check it out. It is on Tuesdays at 8 p.m., I believe. I'm confused. I'll post it in the chat in a second. And we also have Ridiculous Complaints, which is every Sunday at 9. And so shout out to UAV for that. And Lit Club is run by JVJ. And then we also had the Judicial Branch series, which was really amazing. I was so proud of it. We took a lot of time to do a lot of that work. And then also we had the Ivory Tower After Hours program, which was pretty based. We got professors to come to PV and talk. And so I really enjoyed that. And we've also had a lot of amazing one-off workshops like the Texas team with all of their research and presenting that so we can have an idea of what's to come in terms of immigration. Okay, so I don't want to talk forever. I just want to say thank you to everyone who has been involved. It's been really amazing for me, and I couldn't have done it without you.
Yeah. And something else that I want to highlight with this is that even if you joined in a little bit later into the year, we're kind of not quite confident enough to be doing a lot of the specific political action items, but instead going and just showing up to the events. By showing up to these events, we've been able to turn into an organization that focuses on pretty much exclusively, hey, let's get this thing done to this thing done, to instead being a community and being able to organize together and be here for one each other and be able to rely on each other. And those hundreds of signups came from when we really needed to do a push. We tried to reach out with some streamer partners, and we had to rely specifically within the community. And that was, again, from directly the events team signups. We had a lot of people that said, yes, I'm going to go. And these people were reminded to go and do these different initiatives that we'll be getting into later as part due to our events team pushes and efforts. So thank you so much for that. In addition to that, I was in charge of the research team. And the research team, we did a few different things. So we created 10 different documents, and this was a very big variety of different things. So we went from stuff like the Joe Biden administration. What had he accomplished? What were the good things for there back when he was running to be president? And being able to say, hey, these are actually a lot of the good things that the Biden administration has been able to accomplish. And then being able to help refine that, summarize that, analyze that. We looked into Project 2025 before it started to get brought up into kind of mainstream consciousness. But we also looked into things that were a little bit less analytical and a little bit more anecdotal, and trying to help have community resources. So we made things like how to make Friends as an Adult series, being able to talk with the politically disengaged, how to become that person who is the politics person without being like too in your face about things, and trying to help create different workshops and different documents and different presentations to be able to share this information together. So kind of being able to be the collective hive mind within Progressive Victory and get things done when we need to. And then a last thing that I want to kind of point out with not just the research team, but the skills teams in general, is that the skills teams in general is a really great way to be able to have a pathway to leadership. Tomato, I initially had met via the research team. We're going to be looking at more teams during our all hands meeting in 2 weeks. And that will be talking with some leads. But if you are looking at like, hey, I'm enjoying what PV is doing, I really like the vision, but I'm not quite sure how to do leadership, there's of course our state organizing team, which is very excellent, but also kind of showing up to these teams, these skill teams, is a fantastic way to kind of get seen, get heard, and be able to become even more involved for those interested. So just wanted to highlight that before moving on to our fundraising team.
All right. Earlier this year, we launched the fundraising team all the way back in September. That team is led by our fearless leader, Starry, who is unfortunately unable to speak right now. This year, we launched the dues-paying membership program, and before even being able to hand out many of the rewards, we have gotten 51 dues-paying members to Progressive Victory, and this is a way for you to be able, like a union do, to contribute directly to the org to help us stay afloat, to get a membership card, and a bunch of other rewards that we'll talk about later towards the end of the event. We also released a bit of new merch that we'll be taking a look at in a second. But before we move on to that, there's a QR code if you do want to be a dues paying member. But most importantly, to all of our current dues paying members, thank you so much for donating. It has meant so much to all of us. As a dues paying member myself and somebody who donated to Progressive Victory, I have been able to see exactly what each and every dollar donated has been able to do. And it really goes a long way, so much further than it has any right to. And that is because of the power of our volunteers and the power of our passion.
Great. Going a little bit into the design team, as part of that is that they've been able to work with our fundraising team in kind of shipping designs in the future. So a lot of the designs that we have currently are available on our merch website, which I'm sure is being put into the side chat right now. But basically, if you are someone who's been enjoying our merch and you would like to contribute a little bit to how the designs look like, then I am going to encourage everyone to check out the design teams, again, coming up in the future weeks. As we kind of get jump started for this new year. Again, more information on that during our all hands coming in 2 weeks from now. But just being able to kind of highlight a lot of the things that went on. In addition to that, we also had people were able to participate in some design competitions, including a wonderful art piece that was part of a raffled off prize. So if you have kind of a knack for it or interested in it, I highly encourage people to look into that. But lastly, we do have a little bit of a magnum opus to be able to talk about, where we now, for you, can have this.
So yeah, the design team has really outdone themselves with the highest quality merch possible. We have innovated in this new trend of ugly fashion, and we have put together rigorous quality testing to ensure that our products are incredible. And capping off all of that effort is this new #1 fanny pack for the low price of $300. You would not believe how much work we took to just really get that price down. We like bargained, had to be made in America. We go factory to factory. We scoped it out. I'm kidding, of course. But it is a very nice thing to have when canvassing, to be able to store stuff. Does it justify the price? Absolutely. So we hope to see you guys wearing it soon.
Listen, if you bought it, you'd be the only one that had it. Just saying.
It's true.
One of one. Until someone else buys it, then it's two of two. So we did a lot of streamer collabs, guys. I don't know if you noticed. I don't know if anyone here is like into streaming the way that I'm into streaming. Like, do you even watch streams? Like, we partnered with 161 different streamers in all different various ways, shapes, and forms of collabs. This, looked like doing these big streams like the one here where we covered the first debate, or sometimes we had different unique audiences encouraging their audience to go commit to vote, just pledging to vote and saying like that they were gonna, go and vote. So all different ways, shapes, and forms that we collabed with streamers, and that ranged from Pokimane and Valkyrie and Austin Show to Destiny, Vosh, Pondering Politics, Hutch. I'm sure a lot of people here are familiar. Amaranth, Not So Erudite, NMP Lowell, and just I'm not gonna stand here and say all 161 people that we collaborated with, but it's a lot. They're all amazing and wonderful, and we got to do some really great work this year with streamers. Yeah, and then I'm sure everyone saw when Bernie met a VTuber. So we had our Bernie and Friends stream with Pokimane, Valkyrie, Austin Show, Saikuno, and Bernie Sanders was there. Mark Hamill, Mark Cuban hopped on. Hank Green hopped on. It was amazing. It generated a lot of hype. It was so great to see all of the energy that came out of that and all the new people that we got to reach. I feel like we really broadened our horizons from like where we started back in 2022. This year was the year of just reaching new groups, new people, new audiences, and yeah, I'm just so incredibly proud of all of the amazing work that our media team did to get this going, and just like those managing the streamer relationships and putting all of these amazing events together absolutely crushed it. Don't know how they pulled this magic together, but they did. And I'm really grateful that we got to bear witness.
All right.
I'm going to throw it on over for QSD.
All right. We launched Quick Save Democracy this year, and in Quick Save Democracy, there was one very special thing in particular called Streamocracy. And in Streamocracy, you all were able to earn points from canvassing, phone banking, registering to vote, and a bunch of other things. And you were able to spend those points on an election of our own, an election between content creators to see which one is your favorite and who can earn the most electoral college votes. And in our first inaugural Streamocracy election, Vosh was our reigning champion. And by reigning, I mean, he's gotten the reign for the first time. In Streamocracy, there were over 1,000 players in just under a month of being live, and over 1 million victory points were spent securing the election for your favorite content creators, the winning one being, of course, Vosh, no bias whatsoever.
Oh, there was also a lot of different things where there were different people in the lead at various different times. And the main part is that through this gamification, we're able to have a higher level of engagement than you would typically expect. And then also a final part to chime in on this is that within Progressive Victory, this is all things that we've been able to be doing within our first election cycle. And this is going to be something that we look to grow in the future, both within our connections with people, as well as being able to do more with our established audience of people here. Had this been a few years ago, we would not have the same level of audience and engagement that we normally do. So, of course, we're going to be talking a little bit about the actual organizing side of what we as an organization did go out to accomplish.
Hello, howdy. It's Texas Lefty. Organizing is the name of my game. So we're going to go in through all the different organizing branches in what PV accomplished this year. So first up, we didn't just want to do what we've been doing and slotting our volunteer base into existing campaigns. For the presidential election, for the first time, PV said, we're going to create and run our own programs. And there were two major programs that we ran ourselves. Those were the campus houses and the canvassing conventions. And we're going to go over both of them for that. So for the canvas houses, we chose 7 key swing states that we wanted to target and do the most voter contact in, and that's you can see them on screen here: Arizona, Montana, Nevada, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. And we're going to go into detail on why we did it and what we accomplished. So let's move on to the next slide. So firstly, why houses? Why are we doing it this way? So traditional Canvas programs, you have to rely on local talent. You have to, people who are coming in to, living their own lives, their own house, and their own commuting and all of that. But we were looking for the most dedicated warriors for the progressive cause that were willing to upend their lives and spend 3 to 10 months in our houses, living, eating, sleeping, and being mentored by really talented and well professionally trained organizers to not only learn how to door knock, but also learn how to be organizers themselves. It was like an internship to get your foot in the door in political work. And so these they were like training in the hyperbolic time chamber for a few months, learning how to be political operatives. And so because they're like eating, breathing, sleeping, organizing, they're able to dedicate a lot more time to actually knocking on doors and getting stuff done than a traditional program. And so because of that, we knocked on over 250,000 doors, and over $10,000 or over 10,000 door knocks per house per month, which is crazy numbers. Next slide. And because of this, because people were willing to upend their lives, and become like full-time political operatives, we were able to do door knocks cheaper than pretty much any other organization out there and buy a lot. So PV clocked in at a record-setting $1 per door knock, which is an insane number. Average is like $5 per door knock, and in my political organizing work before PV, I've seen some up to $10 and $12 per door knock because candidates don't know how to run their campaigns and they're just like paying too much money to these organizations to knock on their doors. And of course, compared to the brilliant mind of Elon Musk spending $166 per door knock, really just the biggest genius out there. The program was lean, efficient, and got a lot done. Next slide. In addition to the Canvas House program, we also have the state organizing program, which many of you in here, shout out to all my state leads in chat. Give yourself like a shout out, post your favorite emojis if you're a PV state lead. PV's Strongest Warriors. Here's what we were able to accomplish. Next slide. So over the course of the whole year, with all of the contacts to our members and holding social events and holding meetings, we were able to funnel our volunteers using, all the techniques that state leads have been taught, to get over 3,000 people signed up for phone banking, over 1,000 signups for specifically just like state initiatives, that proposal process we're always talking about, where you go and say, I've got a campaign that I have an idea for, and we make it happen in your state, and we got over 1,000 people for that. Our whole program is comprised, if you include all the region leads and research leads and state leads, of 101 volunteers. And program-wide, we expanded. During the election season, I felt like I was training people every single week. Like I was nonstop running state lead classes, just expanding and expanding. And we bulked up to 39 state leads. That doesn't mean we have 39 states, but we want to have as much coverage as possible. We've strategically picked the most electorally important states, and some states have 2 state leads because many hands make less work. Next slide. All right, and now for specific. Oh, I was going to pass it to you.
I'm going to grab it.
All right, go for it.
Go away. All right. We did some amazing, cool, specific phone bank drives. First and foremost, Mary Peltola. Mary Peltola up in Alaska? Come on. A lot of these things, it's a little difficult to get people to care and get people to consistently come out and volunteer for these things. And it's amazing to see what we can generate in this community. We got 509 volunteer signups, 247 unique volunteers. So most people did a couple shifts, which is amazing. So I'm just so great. We showed up, turned out for Alaska. Summer Lee, back in 2022, I don't know if y'all were here. I've been here since day one. We did like an emergency phone bank for Summer Lee back in 2022 because craziness, she was running against an opponent who had the same name as the former Democrat incumbent, but he was a Republican. It was crazy. So we were coming back. We were, helping an old friend. We did a summer leaf phone bank. We had lots of fun summer leaf phone banks, and we got 23K dials. And then she won the primary by 22,000 votes. So that's like a really cool thing that we're able to make an influence there. And maybe we weren't like the thing that put her over the edge, but it's groups like us all coming together and all doing just our little bits and pieces that put together that margin of victory. And yeah, now she's chilling in Congress. Angela also Brooks, the Maryland senator. And she did win. We did a lot of phone banks for Angela Alsobrook, and we got 100,000 plus dials. What? What? Won her primary by 70,000 and now in Congress. So, just a lot of amazing, great work. We're really making a change out here. We're really doing the work that needs to be done with these close margins. We're finding those key races, as Texas Lefty said, that are really important, where we really feel like there isn't enough energy. And if we can direct people that are politically engaged, that want to make a difference, if we can direct people here, like this is really where it's going to come down to the wire. The margin's really important. And so I'm just so proud of all the amazing work that y'all did on these campaigns. And oh my gosh, I can't forget. One of the bigger campaigns and phone bank drives that we did was the voter protection phone bank. So obviously, we know there's always a little bit of like some craziness with people who maybe haven't voted recently, their voter registration getting dumped or like being out of date or, provisional ballots. And that's not fun. So we 1.6 million voter contracts or contacts, 2,485 volunteer signups. Oh my goodness, can't talk, y'all. I'm too excited. That's why. 892 unique volunteers. Y'all really showed up and showed out to protect people's right to vote and to make their voice heard in this election, and really said, no, we're going to make sure that you update your voter registration. We're going to make sure that when you go to that polling place, you're good to go. You're not going to have any issues. You know, it just such important work, and so happy to see that this community really cares about protecting everyone's right to make their voice heard. In this also was in a lot of very critical states like Georgia and Pennsylvania. This is we don't have a margin of victory when we look at this, but this is so critical. Pass it over to you, Texas.
Can I have it back? Is that good? Okay. So I was talking about those state priorities earlier, and all of you who came forward and said, like, I think that my state has an important race and I want PV to have eyes on it. We are by the numbers. Yes on 4, having so many. That was the Florida abortion amendment, and let's just say they only won by cheating. We did so much work there. We got 58% of the vote for the abortion amendment in Florida, but 58% isn't good enough in Florida. You have to get 60%. Just straight up like democracy. What's democracy? That's how we are. That's the world we're living in. There were some legislative races in Arizona for Legislative District 13. Got a lot there. Georgia, unique one about Georgia, that wasn't a phone banking campaign. Georgia was like, I want to knock on doors. And so we got 95 signups for door knocking all across the state. Missouri also had an abortion amendment, but theirs passed. I'm pretty sure. Missourians, speak up if I'm talking. Yeah, there we go. And we're really proud of the Missouri campaign. Missourians have rights to their abortion. And then Curtis Udall coming up for Michigan. And altogether, this is 1,000 signups for people coming out and saying, like, I want to help my community. So if you've got a race that you're looking for, that you want PV to show up and show out to, feel free to like blow up my inbox, DM me, talk to your state lead. We'll get a proposal going through. Yeah, next slide. Okay, this is long overdue. I put together a competition with the state leads to see which coalition and which state could get the most volunteer signups. And if they win, they get a GigaChad role that will give them special permissions in the Discord. And so after all of the shifts have been tallied, the West Coast is best coast, I suppose, because they got the most volunteer signups, recruited into getting volunteers to actually show up. So I'll definitely be, by like the next few days, be giving everyone that role. Next slide. And I also said that even if the top performing state wasn't in the winning coalition, then they would also get the role. And Florida, even though the South did not beat the West, will also be getting the role because the Florida team was built up so fast, got so much done, outperformed every other state by a lot. And so Florida definitely is deserving of getting the role as well. So congratulations. Before I move on to the next slide, there are 2 shout outs that I really, really want to do. And that is to the recruitment team. We got Clemmy and Peanut Butter, who we talk about all of these people signing up to go phone bank or canvas and do voter outreach at our events. But whose job is it to make sure that all of these over 1,000 shifts, over 3,000 shifts, every single one of them needed a reminder text to make sure that they actually showed up. And that's what the recruitment text, the team was for. And I put together the team and I tasked 2 leaders to run it for me. And once I handed it off to them, I didn't have to check in on the team at all. They ran it like clockwork. All those texts went out on time. And I really, really appreciate them. And they'll be getting, recruitment team will also be getting awards as well. And that's it for me.
Hi, I think this one's me. So in addition to all of the slow, steady organizing work that we've just described, all the state organizing teams, all the Canvas House leaders, all of the phone banking that we did, we also produced many in-person Canvas events. And we're talking about streamers coming into town often. And then they bring in and attract a large number of volunteers who go out and knock doors in for a whole weekend. And it's been a super, super important part of our program, and also it was something that was pioneered by DGG and has, I think, become a really interesting tactic that more and more influencer communities should consider. So let's talk about it. So one of I think it was actually the last event that we did was in Pennsylvania. We had 100 volunteers show up and knock 10,000 doors, which is a really, really high number for just 100 people. And it was a super last minute thing we put together just because we wanted to do another event and wanted to leave everything on the field. And that was super great. Next slide. Nevada, also a late Canvas event. We did in, I think, early or mid-October, and Destiny came to this one. Another around 100 volunteers, 10,000 door knocks, and around the same number of knocks per volunteer. Next event. New York, this was our primary election Canvas event. We were there to support the Jamal Bowman, the congressman from New York, who was in a primary election, and PV members who want to support progressive candidates were super excited to engage on that fight. We brought 138 volunteers and knocked around 10,000 doors again. Slightly less doors knocked for volunteer because the New York turf was a little rough, very spread out and difficult to manage. Wisconsin event was our our largest general election event. We had 290 volunteers, knocked 24,000 doors, and also a little bit more spread out. For next event. Ohio. This was in February. This was our first campus event of the year. It was the first thing that we did with DGG, and it was super fun. Over 300 volunteers there, 40,000 doors in February in Cincinnati, Ohio, and a super high door knock number there as well. All right, next. Yeah, so as you can see, the top accomplishments here. We're going to turn this back over, or was I supposed to do this slide? I don't remember.
This one's all you.
Go
Okay,
for
great.
it.
So top accomplishments. Just this huge number of door knocks, especially since our organization had never run a door knocking program before. Really big deal. And is going to be a huge demonstration to people outside of the streaming space about just how much power that we can generate, because usually it's really hard to recruit volunteers to go door knocking. The phone bank dials, huge number. I think this actually should be 1 million plus phone bank dials. 100,000 seems really low to me. I might have listed a zero there. All the unique canvassers that we brought, and then the dollar per door knock, which is such a huge improvement over the standard model that I think it's going to revolutionize how people think about in-person canvassing from now on. All right, turning it back over.
So to kind of go over year in review, we are going to be wrapping up soon. We do have a special hidden thing at the end that we'll be going over. But to try to give us, again, this, what did we talk about, and some highlights from this. For things such as our Pennsylvania event, that Pennsylvania event was, again, put together at the last moment, and that did not have a major streamer that went to it. And the Nevada event also, we got Destiny to come out, but that was also a last minute addition and wasn't very advertised. We were able to have 100 people showing up to these events just because we said, hey, we're going to do things there, and people trusted us to do this. During the end of the year, for a last minute participation, we were getting people left and right, finding places to be able to have volunteers be able to go and do things that were local to them, and that was able to be a part of Progressive Victory and our final push. In addition to that, we have, again, made all these different streamer connections and being able to really solidify ourselves as one of the places that you go if you want to have a politician and a streamer being able to talk to each other, by evidenced by the fact that we were able to get so much done. And then a final thing that I want to put out is, again, we had at our peak 9,000 Discord members, and of that we had over 1,700 people that went and participated in this. We had 18% of our membership that was doing at least some sort of political action, and that is, again, that 18% is based off of the amount of people that we had. Absolute peak, kind of peeking their eyes in the door, seeing what there is to do. I'm not sure of the statistics, but I'm sure there are many people here, either in the audience and or involved, where Progressive Victory was the first time that they had done political action. I was lucky enough to be able to be at a few of these different events, and the amount of people was like, yeah, this is my first time canvassing. Boom, now they know how to do canvassing. They can go and do it locally, and they have that training, they have that knowledge. Being able to help really equip this next generation is a very big thing that I'm proud of. And again, I am very thankful to everyone who has been able to even give Progressive Victory the chance to be able to look at, hey, what are they doing, in the curiosity and the commitment to stay. And we have a lot of things that we're going to be going over in 2025. And we're going to be going over that in 2 weeks, again, at our next All Hands for Q1. We are not stopping. We are continuing. We are still here. It's going to be a little bit different circumstance, but again, for everyone, please give yourselves a round of the back. And we're going to go over, again, a little bit of our thanking to our donors from before. And then, of course, stay tuned for that final year-end review. We have a partially scrapped video at the end.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for attending. But thank you even more to all of our amazing dues paying members. If your name's not here and you're a dues paying member, it's probably because the data we have is a little bit behind. But for this slideshow, but we have 51 now, and we are hoping to grow this so much more during next year. We're going to talk about the benefits. These are all our dues paying members, but on the next slide, we have our inner circle members. This is an even higher tier of dues paying members. And, you know, we'll talk about it in a minute.
But
what about
we appreciate being able to have kind of we don't need to rely on another organization to be able to fully fund us, and being able to have that little bit of additional funding does go a long way in terms of being able to have us really pursue trying to back the best candidates that we can.
Yeah. So, Kevin, I see you in the chat. It seems that your name might have been left off. Again, I apologize for that. But if your name was left off, don't worry. That doesn't mean we don't recognize you. It just means that I didn't have you on the spreadsheet when making that slide. So, talking about the dues paying membership program itself, we have a bit of a sneak peek, a first little preview here of what those physical membership cards are going to look like when they come, when they get mailed to you later this year. You can see the graphic there on hopefully the right, might be my left, we'll see. But there are 4 tiers that you can get: a $5 a month tier, a $10 a month tier, and a $20 a month tier, and a special inner circle tier we'll talk about in a second. At the $5 a month tier, you get the special dues paying member role color, icon, and role in the Discord server. You get recognition at the end of events like this one. You were just recognized, unless I left you off the slide, in which case you weren't. But we'll fix that for next time. You get the physical membership card, and you get a Progressive Victory sticker. At $10 a month, you can become a premium dues paying member. That gets you access to our monthly new Progressive Victory newsletter detailing everything we worked on this month, or if we just didn't happen to do much that month, what we were preparing to work on the next month. You will also get priority question time during our Q&As with streamers or PV staff. Then there is our $20 a month, our signature members. Signature members get their own distinguished color, role, and icon in the Discord server, and an exclusive chat in the Progressive Victory Discord with all the strategic advisors, like the people you've seen here presenting, as well as a Progressive Victory baseball cap. So you get some merch with these bundles too. And all of these roles have a chat section in the Discord where you can all talk with each other. Now, lastly, there is our inner circle members for the most specialist of you, the people who care the most and are able to afford caring with their wallet. You will be the inner circle members. You also get your colors, your role, your special icon, and you get this gigantic PV merch bundle. You get a coffee mug, you get the Waves water bottle, and you get the Waves Progressive Victory t-shirt. It's absolutely amazing. I have to get that merch myself because they're just genuinely incredible. You get an exclusive monthly roundtable with Sam, our founder. You may have recalled him speaking during this event. And you can talk about anything you want during that event, during those times with him. So if you're interested in any of those tiers, scan the QR code right up here, or go to the Progressive Victory website or in the resources tab in this very Discord. And you will be able to become a dues paying member and get any or all of these benefits if you become an Inner Circle member. Thank you all so much to all of our current donors, and I cannot wait to see this sneak peek that CJ keeps teasing.
So yes, this was end of year video. It ended up being scrapped for various different reasons, but basically for everyone who is committed enough, interested enough to be a part of this and to look into this, we want to kind of share it for us. So much so it's not even uploaded anywhere. It is in an MP4 file. So we're gonna be a moment showing it off here.
And for all you people on my stream, unfortunately, you don't get to see this video. I don't get to see this video either, unfortunately, because I'm too busy trying to entertain you people. So I hope you enjoyed this stream. I hope you enjoyed getting to a peek behind the curtain. I have the music of the thing rolling. But yeah, if you did want to see this video, too bad. You should have been in the Discord, should have joined Progressive Victory. Maybe if you become a dues-paying member, you might get the chance to see it. But no promises, by the way. But thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you have an amazing time. I'm going to turn the thing back on.
Be here and spend some time in their afternoon to chat. I will pause the stream and we'll be ready for some Q&A. Oh yes, and then it was edited by Jay, is the video there.
Woo! Woo!
Let's go.
Let's go. Sorry, there's just a lot of hype in the chat, and then there's no hype on this like actual stream. So I'm like, we need a little bit more hype for this. This video is amazing.
The hype was the video.
Hypeless.
But,
it is pure hype.
Yes, and then again, something that I want to highlight with this is that a lot of this is going to be questions related to the end of the year. Again, in 2 weeks we will be having our next year. What does that look like? In my next year, I mean, we'll be focusing on the next quarter, and what we can do from there. And then if there aren't any questions, yeah, that's also fine. Again, thank you so much for everyone who was able to be a part of it, and do various different things in it. I'd love to hear people's stories of how they got involved or what kind of led them to this wonderful place.
Quick, dues-paying members, this is your chance. Type your questions in chat. You've earned this privilege. Use it.
Or anyone.
While we wait for some questions, I will say this. I am so excited for that Giga Chad role as Florida State lead. And we all knew I was going to get this in here at some point. I just have to... I really have to take care not to sprain anything patting myself on the back. Just, I can finally say that I am a Giga Chad. I never thought I'd be able to say that.
Just want to go ahead and answer something that I'm seeing in the side chat asked a lot is kind of like, are we back? Are we so back, guys? Guys, are we back or are we cooked? And I want everyone to know that we are so back. We have an upcoming all hands. So this was kind of just like we wanted to pause and really take a minute to just like look at all the cool, amazing, awesome stuff that we did and celebrate all that. And then we have a whole separate meeting that we're going to have to talk about like where do we go? What are we doing next? Where do we go from here? So that's not what this meeting is, but we've got that all hands scheduled for the 18th. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes,
Cool.
18th, 2 months from now.
Locked away.
I mean, 2
Got
weeks
it.
from now, at 2 p.m. EST.
There you go.
No, all anyone wants to ask is what we're doing next year. Or this year.
Oh, goodness.
You're going to get things.
There will be volunteer opportunities both at least for phone banking. We'll be looking at things that we can do for canvassing. We'll be looking at other races. I again can't go into details of which races we're looking at right now, but we do have a set of initiatives that we're very excited to share, just not at this moment. Other things that I just kind of want to highlight from our end of the year is that while the outcome again wasn't ideal, there were a lot of things. Like for example, Wisconsin was only a few like tens of thousands of voters, and we were able to have many door knocks and calls within that area. When it came to the like voter protection, when we were advertising it was kind of advertised of like, hey, do you want to start to do a phone bank and just understand what it's like? And it was an easier sell, and I had a lot of feedback and a lot of people that were saying, yes, I want to do something, and they were able to have this as kind of like their first step going forward. So just really helping again bridge those initial first things that we're going to do. It's really great. For what is your favorite PV moment in the past election cycle? Cap?
I got it. It's really easy. During the New York Canvas event, a bunch of you state leads came out, which was really exciting. I got to meet with a bunch of you for the first time after like working with you for so long back in June. And I wanted to make sure that like we actually got some time together to like, unwind and like bond and, do team building and stuff like that. So I spent all day looking for like a bar near the hotel so that we could hang out in the evening after all the work was done. And literally a 5-minute walk from the hotel in New York was a bar called Uncle Lefty's. And it just seemed just so perfect because I'm Texas lefty and I'm like I train y'all and like y'all start out as like very green political volunteers and I train you up and I see you fly off and do great things. And so I knew that had to be the bar that we hang out at. And so like pretty much everyone ended up spending the evening at Uncle Lefty's, and I got a hat. There was a hat. They were selling hats that said Uncle Lefty on it, and I don't have it in this room, but yeah, that was definitely my favorite PV moment from the election cycle. It made me want to cry. It was great.
I love that. I feel like it's really hard to choose, but I really love our in-person events and getting to meet everyone's face or meet everyone and see everyone face to face. So starting with the earliest one we did in Ohio this year, I typically work check-in at these events and just get to kind of see everyone coming in and hear who's like first time canvassing and make sure that everyone has their, group and is ready to go out. And it's just it's really great to see like how many different people and just how many first time canvassers, people who just are like taking that leap of faith and coming out to try something new they've never done, which involves knocking on strangers' doors and talking to them. Like it just gives me so much like it's corny, but like faith in humanity and like faith in like what we can do, and just makes me so happy and fulfilled. So that genuinely can't pick a specific event, can't pick a specific moment, but just working check in and getting to like see everyone coming in and see everyone like smiling and happy and excited to go knock doors. Love will always live with me.
Yeah, I would say for me, like just Wisconsin. I was able to go to that canvassing event, and that was a very very fun time. Just to see a part of the states that I had never seen before. Where I grew up on the West Coast, moved over into the East Coast, and so Central America was definitely new to me. And to be able to kind of have this excuse to explore these new areas and see these other communities and see like parts of rural America, or cities, but like seeing these different areas and different cultures and little changes was really fun. And then the other thing that I just loved about it and I loved it about all the PV work that I was able to do, is that I was able to kind of do it with other people who were either somewhat new, but like all kind of aligned with me, and the kind of togetherness was a very big part of it. So that would say for me.
I would say just seeing anything that we decided to do come together was just my favorite experience, because it just wouldn't have happened if we hadn't decided to try. So I've always wanted to work on something where it just wouldn't have existed unless I got involved with it, and I feel like everybody who is here with PV has sort of a similar attitude, and that's, I think, served us really, really well. And I hope that you all have the same attitude too, right? Like this is pretty crazy and stark moment for our democracy, and just being the type of people, I think we have the right type of people here who are going to step into the breach, and not just let spiral into fear, but actually don't get mad, get organized, right? I think I took that from Kevin, but quoting Kevin, don't get mad, get organized. So that's that. I think my favorite moments have been seeing that attitude being made real and put into action.
My favorite moment, I kept thinking, this is my favorite moment. This is my favorite. And then another one kept happening. But genuinely, my favorite moments have just been hanging out in the voice chats, getting to know just other people, as a volunteer myself. And it's nice having a social life. It's cracked up to everything I hoped it would be. So I know there are a lot of other PV volunteers who have come here and have really, like, it's almost like a cliche to be a PV volunteer, to come in, have no social life, and then leave with a group of friends and like a healthier mental health balance of everything. But genuinely, my favorite moment is probably going to be tomorrow. So
Socializing is the first step to organizing. Every friend and connection you make is someone who can work with you later.
true.
Wow. I feel like that was a lovely um, way to close out this meeting. And I just also want to flag for everyone, like, the DMs stay open. I need y'all to know, if you want to get involved, if you don't know how to get involved, DM your state lead. DM any of these team leads that you're interested in joining a team. Like the people on the stage, we respond to DMs. We're not, we want people to get involved. If you don't know where to start, just start by sending someone a message, send them odd mail, post somewhere. We're all here and we all want you to be involved. Um, yeah, there is so much more to be done. The work doesn't stop. And Ben, I love that your favorite moment is tomorrow, because there are many more wonderful moments to be made.
Yeah. Yeah. Our DMs are always open, and we're always looking for new ideas, new inspirations, especially Kevin. He does not get DM'd enough. DM him right now, actually. I'm sure he'd love it.
So yeah, with that being said, unless there are any other final says from the people from me on stage, I'll be closing our event. Again, thank you so much, and we seeing you and maybe even additional friends next week. I mean, 2 weeks from now. Bye.
Night.
Bye.
See you on the
Thank you.
18th. Be a dues paying member. All right. And as for my 3 stream viewers, thank you so much for being here. Not that that counter is correct anyway, but still, thank you so much for being here, for joining in, and for hearing more about Progressive Victory. We're all going to be doing a lot more coming this year. So I will see you on Monday, where we will be playing some Trackmania. And I believe it's also going to be January 6th. So hopefully this one will go better than the last one. But that is entirely up out of my control. So see you, and I will see you.